I don't know whether I got an idea that's what this guy, Chiffon, I got an idea that was a documentary. I don't know. I got an idea what. But I went all out for the National Geographic. And what
they
came out of it.
And edit you and so forth.
And they make it sound like it was all the hoax. And they got people to say the other side and say there was a hoax. And I wasn't happy with it at all. So I've just about had it. I like for you guys, everything like this. I don't mind at all. It's the ones that try to make it out a hoax after you get through to go see somebody else and try to find out a hoax. Yeah. Okay. But they tell me about it if you want to. Don't hide it from me before you do.
Yeah, maybe show you what they're going to use before
That's
they put
right.
it in. It should be in the contract. Like,
That's right.
person being filmed will have review privileges of the end product.
Right.
Because like so many people come and they make movies, film people around here, make them look goofy or redneck or silly or ignorant or
And they make you
crazy.
I just got disgusted with it. Like I don't know. See, I'm going to find that Kenny Pugh. Okay. PQ. If he's not in here, I can probably keep.
The National Geographic people we're talking about are the ones who filmed during the Labor Day weekend. Was that the one we're talking about?
They were
a
here
few
for
years ago?
Bigfoot days.
Was it 2000, 2005, 2006?
Oh, I can't remember. I think it might have been 5. Do you remember, Al? They filmed the Bigfoot Days parade, and I remember them going right behind us, so we didn't get in the film because it was over our heads.
I just don't remember. I don't remember for sure when they were here. But I don't think.
Well, it's hard to
Kenny's
keep
in
all
here.
these years straight, even a few years ago, let alone in 1958.
Yeah.
The actions of the crew have been spoken of in other places in town.
I know there's a lot of people like
There,
who get bitter about Bigfoot and stuff after, like Tom Biscardi or some guy comes in here and makes fools of them and uses them.
U.S. Special Ops forces killed in a suicide bombing attack in
I think that's what happened to these guys up in Happy Camp, I think.
Yeah, that was, a lot of people have told me that since then they don't even want to talk about Bigfoot anymore. They've had it. They'll tell like their friends and family and maybe a few other people, and that's about it.
But oddly enough, they didn't even ask me about it.
well, so we can wrap up with saying that makes us doubly thankful for your time today.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't really known Steve here too well, but I know enough about him to know that he's a decent guy. And
Thanks.
Yeah, and
I remember you from when I was a little kid reading about.
Oh, really?
Your name was in the Bigfoot books that I read when I was like 10 in the library,
Yeah.
like in John Green's book and stuff.
yeah.
I read all those little pamphlet ones.
Oh yeah.
So when I moved to Willow Creek, I'm like, oh my God, Willow Creek, Al Hodgson. And then I met you or saw you around town. I was like, he's still alive, he's still here. It's like, it was amazing to me. Like, that all seems so long ago, like looking at the old black and white pictures.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got it right here. Shooting you. Oh.
Well, we're pretty much done. I just wanted to ask you, like, about Ray Wallace, if you can just say yes or no.
Not about him.
Did you know
Oh,
Ray
yeah.
Wallace?
Oh yeah, I knew him.
What did you think about, like, the story that came out that he supposedly faked all those footprints and stuff?
I don't think that's true. I at all. I knew him. He's a prankster, and I don't. He was the kind of guy that would like to pull a trick, but he
For
wasn't.
fun, though.
But he wasn't a guy to do all that. He brought me casts one time about that long, Obviously carved about that thick. Oh, it was, yeah, but he wanted me to put them in the window. Well, I
Well,
guess
he
I
used to
should.
sell them, right? And he had his own little business where he'd
Yeah,
set up by the roadside and sell Bigfoot.
But he was something else. But I don't think he was out pulling all this other stuff. In fact, I talked to one man that I knew, and he was raised. His father apparently passed away, or his mother. I don't know exactly whether both of them. And Ray raised him, and he said he's a good old man. He didn't do that stuff, and he was. But he again knew he was a prankster, and it was nice. But I think what happened partially when he was what happened up there, and his son and all his wife, his stepson and his second wife, I guess it was. So I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that was all put up. It was, and maybe egged him on. He was an old man and maybe a little bit senile, and did some of these things. He wrote me some of the dadgumdom letters.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave Paulides published a bunch of those on his website. They were talking about UFOs.
Yeah, it was. But anyway,
stuff like that. Bigfoot in the space.
I don't want to say at all that he didn't do some, maybe, but not. I don't think. No, all the big. He didn't do all that, by any means. And
you probably heard stories at the time, though, that some of the guys were hoaxing.
Oh yeah.
I've talked to some of the older people around town who were once loggers or worked on road projects, and they one guy out in Orleans who used to own the inn out there. His son was telling me, like, he heard the old timers talking on the porch, like, let's go out there and like make some fake footprints. You know, the loggers would come down there to get whiskey and drink on the porch. So he heard about a lot of, at least joking about it.
Well, I think they joked about it as one thing to say you're going to do it, another thing to do it too. And
convincing.
When they had the symposium, they offered $100,000 for somebody that could make footprints, and make them so they're really true. No one could do it. And you got no offers to even try it. But what happens is, if you make a fake track, you take it back. They made some right out here. Jim McLaren and John Green out there in our shop made some casts, and made some tracks out of wood. But the board has no action. There's no action to it at all. And you sunk them in there, yes, but that if you straight down, but there's no action, and so you couldn't do it. If you went across we had no takers, $100,000.
Oh, it would sound like free money.
Yeah.
So many people on the TV look at the movie for 5 seconds.
Yep.
And
They
declare it a
scoff.
fake, but they won't spend any time or effort or any money to make a suit or make a set of footprints that can produce something convincing to the evidence we already have.
That's right.
I'm still amazed that anyone talks to anyone from the media at all.
Oh yeah, especially I mean, they do such a shoddy job with their monkey suits. And
Yeah. But I don't even mess with some of that. Bobby Short, she got angry at me. I said, that's enough. Forget it. I don't bother with it. Yeah, that's.
Bobby Short seems to like you enough to quote you in her conspiracy theory stuff. Al Hodgson declared that Bob Titmus was there. No doubt about it.
The worst of it is I said that, but I was wrong. That was all
Did it kind of trick you, like they just showed you a picture? Who does that look like?
They asked me, and they asked me who was in that print, and I said, well, it might be, and I thought it might be Titmus because John, I thought it was Titmus that came down with it, but it was not Titmus. It was Renee DeHanna that came down with it. But
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
And from what you remember of Bob Titmus and Renee Hinden, they didn't like each other very
No,
well.
no.
They probably wouldn't have wanted to travel down.
And it was,
that way.
before it was over, Renee and John weren't getting along either. And I don't know what happened there, but they. But,
Yeah, towards the end more.
But
Later on.
yeah. But Renee, like I said, even as far as I'm concerned, he was flying about that high off the ground anyway all the time. His favorite saying, as I remember, he said that people are seeing bloody holes in the ground.
You mean Renee Hinden?
Yeah, everything was bloody. Well, he was a Swiss. I think he was something else.
Well, he had that great thing, like, people ask for physical evidence of Bigfoot. What if I take one of these plaster casts of the footprint tracks and hit you over the head with it? Would that be physical enough for you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just great. I mean, I wish I could have spent time with that guy.
Yep.
Now, there's a guy you want to go Bigfoot hunting with. You know, at least you'd have good humor around the campfire, even if Sasquatch was never found.
Yep. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I will tell, like you guys, I will tell what I know. And that's all I can do. I can't tell you what I should know or nothing else. And sometimes I've forgotten.
One thing you might be able to tell us is how did you become convinced that Bigfoot is real? I know you've told me this story, but like you believe more now than you did back then when you said you thought it was a hoax, right?
Well, the thing of it is, and John Green kind of got after me time or two. He found out I didn't necessarily believe it. He said, "Ow." but right over there is where I got convinced. Well, we had a Bible study here every one night a week. I can't remember what night it was. But anyway, we had them. And this one night, John had called me that Bob passed away, and he wanted all of his cast to come down here. That were from down here, providing we build a museum. He said, "We don't want this a room, we want a building." Okay. And I finally talked to the museum and talked to him to build a new building for it and do it. So I made then the deal to bring him down here. And so this night after the Bible study was over, I told them what I had done. And so this one couple stayed behind. And I had no idea what it might be. But she says, "Al, I saw one." And that's the day that I said, "Okay, I've seen enough besides," and that pushed me over the end.
But she was someone you absolutely would believe 100%.
Absolutely.
Always reliable, always,
Yep.
not seeing things,
Yep, that's right.
not making stuff up.
Yep.
But that, I mean, that's for me, it's really, I have never seen the Sasquatch, but I've heard so many people I have met tell me around here, they're good, honest people. The more I stay here, I find it harder to disbelieve than it is to believe.
Well, even Mary Roberts. You know about that?
Mary Roberts.
No, you probably
Wait,
don't.
oh.
Well, what happened was that I actually didn't see it, but you know how they say it's some terrible smell.
You mean Mary Roberts from this hardware store?
Yeah. Okay, she this one night, Mary was working on the books, and Gary was tired. He went to bed, and it was summertime, and the windows were open, and the stench was so bad that she woke Gary up to find out what on earth is this. And it wasn't there very long. It was gone. And so, what was it? Was this one? Because this is, a lot of them associate that very loud stink with, and in fact, I don't know what you saw, John Benedict in his book, they said that some great apes have glands under their armpits that they can, and so maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah,
then
it
another,
smells like something you've never smelled before, apparently.
that's right. And
Musky, kind of
it's
rotten.
so terrible. But it's obviously something they can do at will.
Seems like it.
Yeah. And another one So, okay. Right now I can't think of her name. Tacos or two. Anyway,